Russell, you, and through your work at JNF, have working relations with Israel, both on the local and on the national level. I mean, you're building security roads, reservoirs, you know, the list goes on, right? The playground in Sderot. And we often read about the straining of relations among Israelis, Jews in Israel, and Jews in North America and the diaspora, especially on the leadership level. What is it about this relationship that is so difficult to streamline, to work together towards a common goal? And how do you suggest this generation of Jews who are here in North America, we have Israelis here who either live here now full-time or might end up living here full-time, how do we go about healing that relationship, finding a common ground, if you will, towards a Zionism, towards an Israel that can reflect all of our sort of goals and expectations in working together?
I'm a very blunt person, so if you... First, we have to take it back. We have to take back Zionism as part of our relationship. We've given it away. We've given it away to second-tier and third-tier politicians in the Zionist movement. We were just talking about some of the WZO meetings that are going to be held. I don't know exactly how to take it back, but if we don't take it back, they have stolen the name Zionism and made it into nothing more than a political fight of who's going to get a job. The relationship between the diaspora and Israel, I think, is something that we all have to work on. We have to realize here in the diaspora that Israel is a success. Israel is a winner. Israel made it. There is no more exiles in the world. Since the destruction of the Second Temple, there is no Jew anywhere in the world that cannot move to Israel by choice. So we have to get it in the diaspora, wake up, understand there's no more meeting airplanes, there's no more fighting for the Jews to come from exile. It is now about partnership. So here we have to grow up. It's not about blood and wars. It's not about waiting for crisis to happen so we can move into a fundraising campaign. We are in a partnership relationship. And if we don't grow up into that partnership relationship, we can't expect to have it with them. In Israel, they have to understand what it means to us being a Zionist and not living in Israel, and what it means to us in the relationship that they have to have. Now, that's on the highest of the political levels as well that do not understand that. Some do, some are getting it. But I think it's in our relationship with who we're going to have with that person in Israel. The common denominator for the diaspora was to go to Israel, meet with poor Israelis, eat couscous, feel bad. They didn't speak English, we didn't speak Hebrew. We went to their homes, we raised money, and we came back home, and we hoped to God they didn't come visit us. That's what we built. Because it was poor Israel, it was the poor exile. Today, there's 512 companies on the Wall Street that are Israeli companies. The only building going on of major consequence in Las Vegas is being done by Israelis. Now, that's not the Israel that we were raised with. Not you, because you're too young. But the people before you. We were raised on an Israel that had to be suffering, that had to have poverty, that had to have, we needed to build tanks and bulletproof vests and whatever else we were doing. And today we're shocked with the reality that Israel is a success. So why do we need Israel? We don't. And they don't need us. But we do need each other. We have to have each other. And if we don't understand that, if we don't understand from the Israeli perspective to us what Israel means to us, and from us to understand what Israel means as part of being a Jew, We're the only people on the face of the earth that have a land as part of our existence. The only ones. Not Muslims, not Christians, not Hindus, not Buddhists. Lech lecha, go forward to new land. It was all over for us. So part of being a Jew is being part of that land of Israel. Or you can't be a Jew. Now for Israel, they have to understand that for us, if we're here, don't come and think about, I got to tell them about the poor poverty stories. I got to tell them about everything terrible. Israel is a success. And I believe, and I'm not your age, close but not, that young generation wants to be involved with a winner. I put in the sports analogy. If you great Giants fan or Israel Patenu, Israel Maccabi, Tel Aviv, no Patenu if you want. But if you're a sports fan and you buy season tickets, you go every year to the game. You go every game until they lose. And they lose. And then you don't go every game. The weather's not so good. So you're going to watch it at home. And they're still losing, and you start changing the channel. And if we promote that our team is losing, I don't blame young people for changing the channel. They don't go to the game anymore. And they're not even watching it on TV. They're changing the channel. We are winners. We're the greatest, most powerful people on the face of the earth. Nobody has accomplished what we have accomplished. Nobody has done what we have done. And Israel is a winner, and we won. And we got to tell the world, get used to it. We're here. And it's nothing to be ashamed about, the power of the Jewish people and the power of our relationship with Israel. And I believe that until we understand that and they understand us in that way, and we treat them as partners and they treat us as partners, that is the most critical time of our life today. I believe that you as Jewish communal workers and young people are really in the most unbelievable moment of Jewish life. This is the time where we want it to be. Israel is a success, and we get to be partners. It's not Big Brother. It's all about us. And that moment in time that you're going to live in, that you're going to build, is what's going to take us not to a bad relationship, I think to the growing strength relationship. More Jews are speaking Hebrew in the United States than ever before in the history. There's more day schools than ever before. There's more connection to Israel. I'll debate anybody on the anti-Israel American Jewish connection. It's not there. It's not real. We're a growing Jewish community, and we're powerful. And we got to tell the story, and we got to tell the story of winning.